सुना है आजकल गजल कोई सुनता नहीं. And your blood boils.
Exactly.
Why a
जी,
question like
बिल्कुल,
that?
बिल्कुल.
मेरी एक नज़म थी, और आहिस्ता कीजिए बातें, धड़कने कोई
जी,
सुन
जी,
रहा
जी.
होगा. So after
वाह.
22 years, which is today, after 22 years, I on Instagram and on Facebook, I get videos.
जी,
I get tagged in videos by young
जी,
kids with
जी,
a guitar. They are singing और आहिस्ता कीजिए बातें.
लव.
I basically come from Gujarat. So, in the first place, Urdu is not my mother tongue. Even Hindi is not my mother tongue because my mother tongue is Gujarati. And I grew up in an environment where the only spoken language around me was Gujarati,
Okay.
obviously.
जी,
And even the environment was such that my family, for example, my ancestors were not into music.
okay.
So एक होता है, एक होता है घराना के people who come from certain घराना and
जी,
they have tremendous amount of heritage or tradition, family tradition,
जी, जी,
कि जिसमें 7 पुरखों से लोग गा रहे हैं, और so ऐसा कुछ नहीं था.
जी,
So obviously, at a very young age, like you said, two things played a major part in my, in kind of generating or creating that interest in me. One
जी,
was my father, who was really very, very fond of music, and my father used to play one इंस्ट्रूमेंट. आप जानते हैं, इसराज कहते हैं उसे.
अच्छा.
तो
वाह.
ही, हाँ, अब उनका कोई म्यूजिक से लेना देना था नहीं,
जी,
बट
जी,
एज अ हॉबी, पता नहीं,
हाँ,
एक इट वाज अ नेचुरल फिनोमिनन that he liked the instrument, so he learned the instrument. He learned to play the instrument from a Khan Sahab. And वो शाम को घर पे जब he used to be with the government of India, so अपना शाम को काम करके घर पे आते थे, तो he used to come home और उसको अपना इसराज को ट्यून करते थे और बैठ के आराम से छेड़ते थे.
क्या बात.
तो that sound of इसराज, as you know, is very, very interesting. And वो मैं राह देखता था शाम को कि जब when he used to come home, तो I would sit and he would play for half an hour, 45 minutes. So एक वो बात थी. दूसरी बात ये थी कि I grew up in that generation of radio,
जी,
because रेडियो के अलावा और कुछ नहीं.
बिल्कुल.
संगीत सुनने का कोई, there was
जी.
no other medium, there was no other way that you could listen to music. So I used to sit and listen to the radio throughout the day. स्कूल से जैसे वापस आ जाता था, रेडियो ऑन होता था घर में, and that's how I was exposed to the radio.
जी,
अब very interestingly, though I was young, and no doubt I have two elder brothers, Manar Udhas and Nirmal ji. So both Manar ji and Nirmal ji are very renowned singers, especially Manar ji, as you know, is a very famous playback singer.
जी,
So I'm the youngest of the three. So they both had already started singing.
okay.
So I had already got involved in music because of them, because वो गाते थे तो मैं देखता रहता था, मैं भी थोड़ा कुछ साथ में गुनगुना लेता था. और so that whole environment and atmosphere around me of music, basically,
जी,
and the radio, which was playing in my house all the time. So that's what brought me into this whole uh, uh, that's what attracted me towards music.
जी, जी,
And then I think at some point, I personally feel, when I must have been about 9, 10 years old, 11 years old, that it became some kind of madness, some kind of crazy passion.
जी, जी,
That कुछ ध्यान नहीं लगता था दिन में. पूरा दिन ये होता था कि म्यूजिक म्यूजिक म्यूजिक, कि बस म्यूजिक चाहिए. तो रेडियो से म्यूजिक सुन लिया, कुछ गा लिया, कोई प्रोग्राम हो रहा है उसको सुन लिया. In those days, the other day I was remembering that as a young kid in Rajkot, I grew up in the
जी,
city of Rajkot. I remember listening to Mukesh ji live. I remember listening to Manna Day live. I remember listening to Hemant Kumar ji live in Rajkot, Talat Mahmood Saab live. So, अब छोटी उम्र में आप सोचिए 10 साल 11 साल की उम्र में तो किसको मालूम है तलत महमूद I mean it was
जी
too
जी
I was too small but I used to insist on going to
हाँ
those concerts. So I think एक पता नहीं कोई एक अंदरूनी ऐसी बात है कोई इनबिल्ट है क्या है मालूम नहीं. So that's what attracted me towards music in the first place.
जी
And then how this whole ghazal thing started was that radio में ये होता था कि दिन में फिल्मों के गाने ही बजते थे
जी जी जी
सुबह शाम दिन रात. तो the only thing which attracted my ears that uh, during off peak period
जी
radio used to play a lot of Begum Akhtar.
हाँ जी
And it was so very I would say so very different that
जी
वो जैसे उनकी कोई गजल बजती थी रेडियो पे तो फौरन कान खड़े हो जाते थे. आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कि अरे ये दिस वॉइस इज डिफरेंट. सो
जी
दैट्स हाउ एक दैट इंट्रीग जिसको कहें that intrigue came in from that angle, that listening to Begum Sahiba on radio created that intrigue. And then obviously after school I shifted to Mumbai with Manerji. I came to Mumbai. And when I came to Mumbai, the first thing I was exposed maestros. I mean, great musicians, great singers like Madhurani ji, Yunus
हाँ
Malik Saab. I don't know why, but somehow my focus started shifting so much towards this form of music instead of becoming a playback singer. It was always this music which attracted me. And that's how I think and then no doubt I started learning Urdu. There was a wonderful gentleman who used to teach Urdu to my eldest brother Manoj ji ko sikhate the. So
ओके
he used to come home and then I started learning from him.
वाह
And actually he was the one who opened the doors actually, because he introduced me to at a very young age of 17, 18. He introduced me to Ghalib and Mir and then Dag and Jigar, so on. I mean, it just went on. And obviously that made me so very passionate.
जी
And I think ek hota hai, I feel that I fell in love with this language.
what inspires you to continue on this journey
I think it's basic passion in me, a tremendous amount of passion in me. Um and I think there is inside me there is a warrior also. Why I'm saying warrior? Because I feel that I'm on a mission that I feel this form of music people have to appreciate. People cannot write it off. That one
जी
question is sometimes it really shakes you up. Is सुना है आजकल गजल कोई सुनता नहीं. And your blood boils. You
एग्जैक्टली
say, why
जी
a
जी
question like
बिल्कुल
that?
बिल्कुल
But so I'm like a warrior. I feel I mean there nobody should ask you a question
ये
like that.
दैट्स
So I think it's all a combination of all these elements. But yes, I would tell you that what inspires me is you'd not believe कि however busy I may be during Khazana,
जी
however preoccupied I may be, but let me tell you, and however tired I may be, but let me tell you that when you start singing, like for example, when you are performing and when I come and sit there and listen to you, I think all my fatigue goes away. I
हाँ
mean,
थैंक सो
my
नाइस
my uh, my passion and my love
रियली सो
is
स्वीट
this music.
जी थैंक
Anybody, I mean, there are so many artists that you listen to, like yourself, that you feel so much at peace, you feel so much relaxed, you feel relieved, and you
जी
feel who's saying ghazals are not there, they're very much there. And I think that's how I feel that keeps me going. मेरी एक नज़म थी, और आहिस्ता कीजिए बातें, धड़कने कोई
जी
सुन
जी
रहा
जी
होगा.
जी
So, when I made a video of that, the video was beautifully made by Vinay Sapru and Radhika Rao. They were very talented young
जी
filmmakers. So they made this video. And fortunately for me, that video caught on with the younger generation. And
जी
you will not believe, but that video used to play some 20 odd times in a day. on
Wow.
MTV, on Channel V, everywhere.
जी, जी, जी.
And that gave this particular song such a boost that
Yeah.
it reached out to every youngsters even today. And mind you, that album Stolen Moments was released in 1998. So after
Wow.
22 years, which is today, after 22 years, I on Instagram and on Facebook I get videos. Uh,
जी, जी,
I get tagged in videos by young
जी,
kids with a
जी.
guitar. They are singing "Aur Aahista Kijiye
That's
Baat."
lucky. Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's true.
so the point is that that's the kind of reach that
Yeah.
media has.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.